See, this is why I love storytelling, especially in movies, because there are subtle messages or themes that are portrayed in the movie or whatever, like whether it's a book, screenplay, musical, whatever. Those subtle messages can make you realize something in your life, and it can even impact you in such a way where it could change your life. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome back. So, last week released the new Marvel film, Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm not doing a review about it or anything like that. I love the film, and there was also one particular message that I wanted to talk about. And I'm not going into spoiler territory or anything like that, so you don't have to click off the video if you haven't seen it. So, some of this quote was also put in one of the trailers that I recently noticed. Shang-Chi's auntie, hey auntie, was talking to Shang-Chi about his parents. And the quote went like this: "You are a product of all who came before you, the light and the dark, the legacy of your family. You are your mother, and whether you like it or not, you are also your father. Stop hiding who you are." When I heard that while in the movie theater, sitting down and having to take that in, like right there, I was speechless. Granted, you can't talk during the movie, but you get what I mean. In my head, my little noggin up there was saying,
Are we being personally attacked?
then more action of the movie starts coming in, and I'm like, all right, put that aside. We need to keep watching the movie. But back to the personal attack. The reason why I resonated with this quote so much and how I loved the subtle messaging behind it, Shang-Chi kind of tried to make a life away from his father. And that was relatable to me because that's the same thing I'm doing. All of his efforts in life and to try and have some sort of normalcy are to get away from his father's shadow. That's something I feel like I'm doing, or at least being in the process of right now, because I never want to be in my father's shadow. And I feel like this relates to not just, sons of the father, but it could even apply to daughters of the father. We as human beings are born from a mother and a father. We are the creation of the both of them. And I also like the part about the light and the dark because we all have those two sides to us, a light side and a dark side to ourselves. Being able to control that gives the balance, the yin and yang. You are a product of all who came before you. When I heard that, I thought about my mom, my sister, my grandparents. I thought of all of my family and how close we are. The legacy of your family. When my grandpa passed away last year, one thing I thought about was doing what I wanted to do and loving it and making him proud. And in all seriousness, the quote itself could have ended at, "You are also your father." And I would have felt that. But then they added the nail in the coffin and said, "Stop hiding who you are." I remember leaving the theater. I was driving home by myself, and that quote just kept circulating around in my head. I was trying to understand on a deeper level what they meant, what it meant for me, not just as someone in the audience, but as a person. That's what storytelling is. And sometimes there's messages like these where it feels like it's happening to you right now. After I heard that quote, I also thought about when I was a child. I didn't really know who I was in this world. I would say between early 2018 into the beginning of 2020, I lost sight of who I was. And I admit it, a good portion of it was my fault. Hence what caused depression, anxiety, even sometimes self-hatred. Looking back on it, I've realized how far I've come and how far I've progressed away from that. Shang-Chi also helped me come to terms with the separation of my father, as well as being at peace, knowing that I'm a product of him, but also my mother. I'm a combination of both, whether I like it or not. What's most important is that I am my own entity. Yes, I'm a product of all who came before me, but I can still carry myself as my own person. Now I carry the knowledge and the wisdom of having that balance of both my mother's side and my father's side, knowing how to control that. Even as an actor and an introvert, I still feel like I create characters with different interactions of people, and it really depends. There are some people that I can genuinely be 150% myself with. Then there are some people that I have to kind of put a limit on as to how much I can express of myself. But then it all circles back to having that balance. I'm getting better at being myself at all times. And you should do the same. I want to thank Marvel and Shang Chi for putting me at peace with something I didn't know was there. But now I can go back, reflect, understand, learn, and move on. I've loved Marvel since I was a kid. I always, almost every Halloween, dressed up as Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my number one. You can see the Spider-Man over there. Okay? We have a whole Spider-Verse and my customs. So don't forget that. I also just spent over $100 on a Spider-Man helmet. Impulsive, but worth it. That wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give the like button some chapstick. It's looking pretty dry. While you're there, head on over to the subscribe button if you're new. Click that notification bell for every week this mental basket case comes up on your subscription feed. Be sure to follow my socials, my Twitter and my Instagram. Again, links will be down in the description below, as well as some of the equipment that I use in my videos. Thank you everyone for your support and for watching this video. In case I don't see you guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. Have a Spider-Man. It's back to school season. I hate it here. When the hell is Halloween already? You know what my fondest memory as a kid being in school was? Staying up for the 10 o'clock news just to announce the guy that does the Fox 5 news. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? And it's still something that I say to this day.